On the Fringe with Dan RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. I'm just thrilled to pieces that this happened today. Thrilled to pieces. It's kind of like watching a bully on the playground. The guy's been a bully forever. And then finally, somebody handles the bully, if you will. Or at least makes it okay. We are in changing times, and I think, I think it's awesome that some of the people that are quote-unquote on our side of the fence that have been causing a lot of problems, a lot of consternation, and certainly have been dividing the overall MAGA group. I'm glad the attention's being brought on it. Could piss off some people. It's okay. It's not my words. It's not my words. Be mad at me all you want, but I'm just sharing the news here, folks. Just sharing the news. That said, we're going to go right to it. Donald Trump truthed this out today. I know why Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones have all been fighting me for years, especially by the fact that they think it is wonderful for Iran, the number one state sponsor of terror, to have a nuclear weapon, because they have one thing in common: low IQs. They're stupid people. They know it. Their families know it. And everyone else knows it, too. Look at their past. Look at their record. They don't have what it takes, and they never did. They've all been thrown off television, lost their shows, and aren't even invited on TV because nobody cares about them. They're nut jobs, troublemakers, and will say anything necessary for some free and cheap publicity. Now, they think they get some clicks because they have third-rate podcasts, but nobody's talking about them, and their views are the opposite of MAGA. I wouldn't have to have won the presidential election in a landslide. MAGA agrees with me and just gave CNN a 100% approval rating of Trump, not hand-flailing fools like Tucker Carlson, who couldn't even finish college. He was a broken man when he got fired from Fox, and he's never been the same. Perhaps he should see a good psychiatrist. Or Megyn Kelly, who nastily asked me the now famous only Rosie O'Donnell question, or crazy Candace Owens, who accuses the highly respected First Lady of France of being a man when she is not, and will hopefully win lots of money in the ongoing lawsuit. Actually, to me, the First Lady of France is a far more beautiful woman than Candace. In fact, it's not even close. Or bankrupt Alex Jones, who says some of the dumbest things and lost his entire fortune, as he should have, for his horrendous attack on the families of Sandy Hook shooting victims, ridiculously claiming it was a hoax. These so-called pundits are losers, and they always will be. Now, fake news CNN, the failing New York Times, and all of the other radical left news organizations are hailing them and giving them positive press for the first time in their lives. They're not MAGA. They're losers, just trying to latch on to MAGA. As president, I could get them on my side anytime I want to, but when they call, I don't return their calls because I'm too busy on world and country affairs. And after a few times, they go nasty, just like Marjorie Trader Brown. But I no longer care about that stuff. I only care about doing right for our country. MAGA is about winning, and strength is not about Iran to have a nuclear weapon. MAGA is about making America great again. And these people have no idea how to do that. But I do, because the United States is now the hottest country anywhere in the world. You can't argue with his success. Here's CNN talking about Tucker Carlson in a poll, which is kind of surprising. But, as a going against Fox they probably jumped all over this, but needless to say.
Let's start off with Tucker Carlson, who has been in absolute freefall with Republicans. I mean, just take a look at this. Look at this trend line. Tucker Carlson's net favorable. Back in March of 2024, when he and Donald Trump were very close friends, look at this. He was at plus 54 points. Look at where he is today at only plus 7 points among Republicans, and that includes GOP-leaning independents. I mean, that is a drop of 47 percentage points. My goodness gracious. When you go up against Donald Trump and you want to appeal to the Republican base, to quote the movie Good Burger, you go on the grinder, and that is exactly what has happened to Tucker Carlson, who has absolutely collapsed among Republicans.
So if it is a choice between the president and Tucker Carlson among these voters, what do they basically say?
Yeah, they choose Donald Trump basically every single time. Look at this. Okay, the exact same poll, this UMass Lowell poll. Look at this. Net favorables among Republicans. Again, this is Republicans plus Republican-leaning independents. You see Carlson on the right side of your screen at plus 7 points. Look at where Donald Trump is at plus 61 points. And this is actually a little bit low for Donald Trump. In other polls around the same time, he was even higher than this. Again, he is crushing Tucker Carlson. What is this? This is a 54 point advantage for Donald Trump over Tucker Carlson when it comes to who is more popular among Republican voters. And of course, this is even just talking about the MAGA base, where Donald Trump is running an approval rating somewhere between 97 and 100%.
Okay, so what does this mean for Tucker Carlson going forward? Say Tucker Carlson wanted to build some kind of a platform where he could run for office, say president.
Yeah, okay. So you see Donald Trump crushing Tucker Carlson here. Take a look at this. Look at the Kalshi prediction markets when it comes to his chance, Tucker Carlson's chance to be the 2028 GOP nominee for president. It's just 5. When you can put it on one hand, you know it's low. It's just 5% that Tucker Carlson actually has enough support within the GOP, at least those who are putting their money where their mouth is, to actually be the GOP nominee in 2028. Marco Rubio and J.D. Vance are running well ahead of him.
Okay, so again, in this imaginary world, if the prediction markets are wrong, Tucker Carlson were to become a candidate, how might he do?
Okay, why don't we take a look against the most likely Democratic nominee, Gavin Newsom? And this is, I think, so important because it's not just that Tucker Carlson struggles now with Republicans. He has electoral poison when it comes to general electorate. So Gavin Newsom versus potential GOP nominees in the 2028 presidential matchup. Against Tucker Carlson, look at this. Gavin Newsom crushes Tucker Carlson by 11 points. J.D. Vance actually beat Gavin Newsom in this poll by 3. So Tucker Carlson, very much struggling, runs way behind the GOP baseline in the general election as well.
You pick Newsom because he's leading in some of these early polls.
He's the most likely Democratic nominee in the prediction markets at this point.
Interesting. Vance beats him right now, but Tucker Carlson, not so much.
Not so much. Not well liked among Republicans and not well liked, hated among the general electorate.
Harriet, thank you very much.
Yeah. I'm just stoked it's finally coming out. This is another example, and again, I've seen this. This is another individual, and I will see what happens, but I've seen this individual doing this kind of stuff too. These are extraordinarily popular people. People that you like. They're likable in a lot of cases. That's what's beautiful about it. Carolyn Levitt posted this. This tweet cites a Daily Beast rewrite of another article filled with anonymous sources who have clearly lied because the story has now been totally rebuked by both the Pentagon and Cardinal Christophe Pierre. This is 100% garbage fake news. The reporters who wrote it should immediately retract their stories, and the influencers who fell for it should delete their tweets. I'm going to say a number of people that are huge in this space fall for the alleged sources all the time. All the time. In fact, I don't want to call them out, but man, there's people that I'm half close. I've actually had on my show before. And I've got to double check their sources because they frequently use Axios sources. And they call it out like it's fact. It's clickbaiting. That's the thing. You're not supposed to pick on the people that are doing it, right? And it's really bad taste to do it. And it hurts your numbers when you do it. So it does not help a content creator to go out of their way to try to point out the people that we should be leery of, because it's always the people that are far more popular than the influencers who's trying to do that. So it's one of those things where I try to teach people what to look for. And then maybe you'll make your own assessments. And again, realizing somebody we like is not necessarily a good person sucks. I've had to do it many, many times. I've said it before. I'll say it probably more times as we find more of them. But Tom Hanks was the toughest one for me, for sure. He was my all-time favorite actor growing up. From Bosom Buddies on, loved the dude. I had no idea what some of the rumors are, right? Done some amazing movies, too. Just unreal. So, yeah. And I don't know if I actually read the Sean Ryan post. Their Pentagon summoned the Pope ambassador, told him the United States has the military power to do whatever it wants, and warned that the church better take its side. Literally posted this like it was true. There's another individual that he's got like I don't know, 100,000 followers or something. And he puts up good stuff. He puts up great stuff, but he never cites his sources, ever. And it's good stuff with no source. I'm like, I don't see this anywhere else. How is it that you've come up with it? Who are you? It is freaking me out. And it's only, I'm hypersensitive to it because I look at it every damn day and whatever. Senator Mike Lee is announcing he's not backing down from the Save America Act. Thank you, sir. He's the only person that seems to give a shit in the Senate. Maybe 2 others.
If everyone is family, no one is family. If everything is urgent, nothing is urgent. If everyone is given the benefit of citizenship by allowing them to vote, then citizenship means nothing. That is the core message that I wish our Democrat colleagues would accept, and I am confident they will ultimately accept as we continue to make this argument. Because we're not going away. I'm not going away. I will be back on this floor, in this chamber, day after day, week after week, month after month, as long as it takes. I'm not giving up. Not a chance in hell am I giving up on this, because this is about the American dream itself. This is about the fact that when you allow non-citizens to vote, you are robbing something from the American people, from each individual American citizen, something which is distinctively, rightfully theirs. You cannot take that away. You are taking it away when you allow somebody else to cast a vote that will cancel out yours. That, Mr. President, is unfair. It is unacceptable. It is un-American. It is illegal. We must not tolerate it, and we will not.
It comes down to each and every one of us getting involved in our own way. And in a lot of ways, we should be involved more locally, whether that's your HOA, whether that's your city council, whether that's your school board. There's something there that's close enough. You should at least have shown up to one meeting. I say this, I haven't been to one meeting yet, okay? But I'm going to. It's one thing I've been bugging myself about, by the way. So I'm only saying this for that reason. So I'm bugging you because I'm bugging me, all right? Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen anytime sooner, but this is one of the things. Now, I will say I kind of have an outreach program that I'm working on, so I sleep well at night, but I do need to be more involved in my local. I do. My HOA especially, though, this one's not nearly as bad as the one when I had my condo. My condo was horrible. It was extraordinary. My HOA dues, some of you guys will love this. My HOA dues, I had two of them I had to pay. See if I can remember them exactly. One used to be $30 when I first moved in, and when I left, it was $180. No, it was over $200. It was like $210. So it went from $30 on 20 years to $210. The other one used to be like $180, and it was, I think when I left, it was $775. So almost $1,000 a month in just association dues. People talk about, you don't own your property, you got property tax. Yeah, I had to pay property tax also. But the funny part is, you're right. But here's the other funny part. People that don't have associations, if you don't have an HOA, you don't understand this. If you do have an HOA, you've signed a thing that says if you don't pay your dues for 3 months, they can take your house or at least put a lien on the house for your HOA dues. Yeah, you totally don't own your house. Kidding? No, not even close. The Wellness Company. I haven't talked about these guys in a little while. And I'm like, I'm going to go to the best sellers and just see what's on there, because I love talking about the stuff I love talking about. But what are people actually buying too? Right? So first off, you want to go to twc.health/OTF. TWC, the Wellness Company. TWC.health/OTF. I went to best sellers. I said, all best sellers. I want to get crazy. I want to get freaky. We're going to walk through. This is some fun stuff here. So they've got this Tirzepatide. It's an oral RX weight loss solution. It's prescription. Again, they've got prescriptions. You can also get memberships and see telemed and all sorts of cool stuff. They've got my favorite contagion kit. This is your antiviral heaven right here. This has everything for antivirals. It's even got an antibiotic, the azithromycin. It's also got the nebulizer and 5 vials. And that's kind of like that asthma medication. It'll expand your airwaves if you're in a really, really bad place. This thing's a lifesaver if you're worried about a virus or a flu type thing. Shield's awesome. It just protects you from life's toxins. If you're kind of nervous about it, this might be a good thing to consider. Ultimate Spike Detox is huge. It's really sad. This saddens me, this product. It's one, the person that took it and told me what she told me ended up changing this later, but it's not because of this not working. But the Ultimate Spike Detox. She literally said, this saved my life, Dan. You don't even know. This literally saved my life. This is the one that gets, like, if you rolled up your sleeve, this gets the spikes out of you. If you're with someone that rolled up their sleeve, this gets the spikes out of you. She said this literally saved her life. Unfortunately, she lost her husband and later took her own life. So it was very unfortunate. But that was like 2 years later, or a year and a half later. It's very sad. Very sad. Just some of the whole group, we lost 2 loved ones in a very, very short period of time. It was just really, really hard for a lot of us. It's happening, I think, all over the place. So, ivermectin, bendazole. This is the parasite cleanse. This is amazing. This is amazing. You get 90 pills. They're extremely strong. It's 25 milligrams ivermectin, 250 milligrams mebendazole. These two things together, bada bing, bada boom. And you can even do that blue stuff, too, if you want it separately at the same time. but you're doing a hardcore parasite cleanse. You're literally knocking out a huge amount of stuff, and it is a potent, very strong dose. In fact, someone was reminding me to take it. I've started, I think about 4 days ago, I started again, and been munching down the last of these, and probably try to get another one. I like just having it. It's just so strong. It's just nice. It's just nice to have. Recharge, methylene blue, PQQ, and NAD. This is good for your brain. This is good to help you think straight and all that crazy stuff. Oral weight loss drug, they've got that we already talked about. Regenerate, this is that tissue regeneration thing. This is very interesting. It's peptides, all that. Natural tissue recovery. I think when you've got a lot of inflammation and stuff like that, that can oftentimes be due to tissue breaking down and kind of being replenished. This, I think, helps largely accommodate that. You've also got, we've talked about with these stem cells too, by the way, but this Regenerate's a very good product that you can consider as well. Ivermectin is, this is just ivermectin, which is very good to have. I've got some always, this isn't the same thing, but I've got forms of ivermectin. You want to just be able to have some ivermectin. If you get a virus, if you start getting that kind of like something's coming on, your throat's starting to tickle, immediately start taking ivermectin. Immediately. Most likely it'll kill it before it ever goes anywhere. I've had like pretty bad cases of the flu in the morning, started taking ivermectin, and literally within 36 hours had fully turned the corner, if not less than that, really. But I mean, like, significantly better. So ivermectin's a powerful one. You want to keep that in mind. Appetite help, if you want natural GLP-1 and GLP-2 boosting probiotics, they've got those types of things. Clear skin with ivermectin, so it helps clear up, I think, blemishes too, but also helps with like people are noticing with skin cancers and stuff like that. It might be something you want to give a try to. They've got all sorts of great kits. You know what they do have that I didn't realize? They've got great kits, by the way. Emergency kits, first aid kits, travel kits, amazing stuff. And they've also got this really bitchin' farms, fresh farms. So they've got all this bison trifecta, but they got meat products too. So the really, really good stuff, right? Chlorella oil, broccoli sprouts, just all this really healthy crap. They've got medical kits for your animals. Look at that. They got positive medical emergency kit, large dog, small dog. Same price, so make sure you get it right, or I don't really know what the differences are, frankly. Let's click on it. Most people have small dogs. Let's just for fun, right? For shizzles and giggles, I guess. So they got antihistamine, okay. A couple antihistamines. They've got an antacid, because, you know, if your dog's got heartburn, how do you know that? Activated charcoal, if they poison themselves, that's a good one to have. Calming bites, what's that? Reduces anxiety and stress. Oh yeah, if you got one of them little stressy shaky dogs, there you go. Wound care tools, so Q-tips, cotton balls, gauze pads, scissors, tweezers, that's gonna freak them out, but it's got that bleed stop in case they hurt themselves. And hygiene treatments, see, cold compress, tongue depressors, syringe. There you go. Look at that, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. I saw that. I was just very shocked. I was like, holy crap, they got stuff like that. That is pretty cool. Green Machine superfood waffles. Yeah, all sorts of crazy stuff in here, man. I'm telling you, just go to twc.health/OTF. They've got it broken down. There's a lot of ways you can do it. Just the site's amazing. They've actually got talk to a doctor, literally, telemed. If you want to talk to a doctor, they've got it. Memberships, too, if you're going to be doing stuff month after month after month. I do recommend the memberships. They do pay for themselves, believe it or not. It ends up giving you a discount, get free shipping. A lot of things start to happen. They got Medicare stuff. Anyway, talk to them. They cover all the bases, guys. This is legitimate doctors doing legitimate pharmacies in the United States. Stop to Dr. McCullough, Dr. Drew, and others. So this is very, very cool stuff going on here. And they've got shop. They've got it broken down in all sorts of different ways. So please go to twc.health/OTF, twc.health/OTF. Healthy choices. We got to be prepared for whatever the deep state tries to do, right? That's why we got a Second Amendment. That's why we got a First Amendment. That's why you have, like first aid kit. That's why you do this kind of stuff, right? Minnesota whistleblower. She's alleging years of reckless disregard at the Fraud Plague Agency. They literally accidentally turned off fraud recording at one point and then found out they had and didn't really even get mad at the person that did it. They're like, nah, it was an accident. It's like, you literally were not reporting fraud at all. Like, there's just too many funny little coincidences. And here's what, we're going to start here. Minnesota is extraordinarily bad. In fact, they're retardedly bad. Like, they are IQ of 20 bad. And I don't know, that's not just because Tim Walz is the governor. I mean, he definitely His IQ's got to be in that arena. But literally just all the stuff that has failed that no one's looked at, that because it's obviously they're looking into it, is what they keep telling us, right? So they're obviously looking into it. Okay, so they're just extraordinarily retarded then. That's okay. At least you know. So Minnesotans, please try not to vote in retarded people. That would be a first step that would probably go a long way in helping fix the problems that we've got going on there. I know of, I think, one gentleman, a good friend of mine that I used to work with at my other company lives up there. So I know a few people. Actually, we did have family way back when that lived up there. This was it, the state of 10,000 lakes, and I always used to say, yeah, and 100,000 mosquitoes. It was horrible in the summer. Good God, that place is nasty. People are like, why do you live in California? I don't have that problem. Not even close. Minneapolis pushes to legalize sex bath houses for gay Somali immigrants. Yeah, just because, I don't even think we have bathhouses, gay or straight. Frankly, I feel like they can only fall into one category. If you're going to go walking around naked in front of a bunch of dudes, it just feels uncomfortable to me. I don't like it. I don't even like showering with other dudes, to be honest with you. I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not, I don't need to see other penises. I'm not cool with that. I don't, right? This is a weird thing. I don't know what it is. I've probably got problems. That's probably what it is. But yeah, Minneapolis, they just want to make it cool for Somali immigrants to just have gay bathhouses. I don't know what's going on in Minneapolis. Just don't. Far left plot to seize control of the LAPD. Literally, the city council's trying to take control of the LAPD. I don't know how much power you all in LA, if God forbid there's anyone in my audience that lives there, get out. LA is horrible. You definitely do not want to be in LA. LA is not a place you want to be in the coming months. That is for sure. I think it's on the burn list. But yeah, they're literally trying to take it away from, falls under the mayor, and it falls under the police council. The Los Angeles Board of Police Commissioners somehow is involved in that as well. So they're trying to take it away from them. That would only make it frighteningly, I don't know. Very frightened people. It's going to get worse. Frighteningly. I want to say it that way so badly, but it is not. I'd have to practice that word a bunch of times. It sounds like it's not just coming off. It's not coming out of my face properly. That's for sure. I know what I want to say. Oh, by the way, this is just a cool video here. I have not seen what actually happened, and I've not totally watched the video, but literally two ladies found out they were dating the dead dude and got mad. Now, obviously, this guy didn't have any money because this is not a nice casket, and he's literally on a weird-ass rack like this. Whatever the case is. But there you go. It's like, and then they probably hopped on a Spirit Air flight and went home. Long story short, though, we're finding out people in California, they're stealing gas. So, I don't know. This is probably going to happen in other places, but gas is super expensive. I just filled up yesterday. Just like, wow, nice, okay. But they're drilling holes in the gas tank. So not only, I'm sure you can cork it, but what's awesome is then they can just come back by and uncork it and steal your gas again. So instead of doing the siphon method, which, let's be honest, there's a risk, they're just literally drilling holes in the gas tank and stealing the gas. There you go. And it's probably pretty quiet. This is happening to a lot of people, even this young lady with her cleavage there. I didn't see the cleavage. What are you talking about? Cops deployed some weird Batman-looking gadget. They got this crazy little doohickey. This is how we mofo people here. I think this probably show it, but this is just wildness. Check. I think this
news out of Riverside County. This is the end of a.
It's the end. Everyone wants to see the beginning, not the end. Oh, there we got it. I'll shut up.
Police pursuit involving the Riverside County Sheriff's Department. You see the SWAT vehicle out there. It ends in a crash, a significant crash. And you see, this is the moment where authorities employed a grappler. And you're going to see the power of a grappler to bring a pursuit to an end really quickly. Essentially snags the vehicle. It's a Cadillac CTS, by the way, going at significant speed here on surface streets in Riverside County in Harupa. This is Belgrave Avenue, and boom, causes it to lose control and right into the concrete barrier on the other side of the lanes there. No movement thus far from inside that Cadillac CTS as authorities have their guns drawn. No word if that driver is injured. Of course, wouldn't be surprised to no one if, in fact, the driver suffered some serious injuries given the collision there with that concrete.
Now, my guess is, one, either A, this thing is too wide, or B, this didn't quite work the way it's designed. My guess is it's supposed to kind of reach up into that wheel well and sort of hold on to the wheel and hold on to the car, essentially just pull it up to that little bumper on the front of the police car, and then it can kind of slow it down. But it didn't happen. It broke away from it, and then, yeah, that obviously, I don't think the intention is to let it crash into walls. This guy was obviously putting a lot of lives at risk, and certainly crashing into a wall freaked out the people that lived in that particular building. But yeah, wild stuff going on. Got a lot of companies that are leaving California. Got a nice little list, and then we've got a little fight going on with Chevron being one of them, of course. Chevron being one of them. Tesla, SpaceX, and X all left. Charles Schwab left. Oracle left. Public Storage left. Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, CBRE, which, by the way, is the company that does the numbers for companies that leave states. That's CBRE. They left California. McKesson, Blaze Pizza, John Paul Mitchell Systems, D-Wave Quantum Inc., Palantir, Yamaha, and Neutrogena, just to list a few. Gavin Newsom's trying to escalate his war on Chevron in the latest blistering attack, and it's kind of funny. He's like, this is him. Chevron said on Thursday it expected first quarter upstream earnings to rise between $1.6 billion and $2.2 billion from the previous quarter, fueled by higher oil prices due to the Iran war, though an impact from hedging could weigh on results. Now, what's funny is this reader's added context. The state of California collects more in taxes per gallon of gasoline than refineries such as Chevron, Shell, or Valero collect in profits per gallon. So let's look at the actual numbers. They give us a place to do just that, and we're going to check it out right here. California's Energy Commission. It's energy.ca.gov. It's their own site. Now, of all of these, none of these, except with the exception, federal excise tax, all of those are percentages. The federal excise tax is actually fixed. It's been, I guess, since 1993, 18 cents. So across the board, every single state, you pay 18 cents per gallon. Part of that gas is going to the federal tax, period, end of story, which for a lot of states, that's like a decent chunk of the gas price, right? Especially since 93, because, shit. I mean, I think when I was close to, I was living in Tennessee during that time, and man, gas was like almost $1 or something out there. It tripped me out because I was coming from California. It was just like, still, it was like $3.50 or $3 or something crazy here. That said, underground storage fee. California gets 2 cents for every gallon, period, end of story, for the underground storage fee that they made everyone rip out their old storage containers and put in these new non-leak containers, which they now also charge you an additional, apparently, monthly or gallonly fee on. State and local tax is 2% of the price of the gas. 2%. So the more the price of the gas, the more they make. State excise tax is 15%. So right now we're at 17%. Well, 17% plus 2 cents, but we'll leave that out for now. 17% of the price of gas is going to the state. Low carbon fuel standard, that's another 4%. So 21% of the price goes to California. Cap and trade, another California thing. There's another 6%. That's 27% of the price you pay at the pump. 27% of the price you pay at the pump goes to California coffers, where they can waste it, where, like in LA, they can have 40% failure of a program and still feel like they're doing a good thing. And so, we get into distribution margin, which is 15%. That's, I think, what the oil people get. They get about 15% profit. Well, these guys are getting 27% profits, almost double what the oil companies are getting. So, Gavin, I'm not sure if you should be saying anything, dude. You're getting twice as much as Chevron. At least they're turning a profit. I don't know what you're doing to manage this state so poorly that you're losing money like it's going out of style. That's strange. Maryland Dem officials freak out at journalists ahead of an expose on the governor. They actually did. They actually did some threatening, kind of, if you will, on some of the journalists that were going to break this story at the Sun. Apparently, the Sun was bought by some conservative feller, and he is now running a hit piece against the governor. I think it's the governor. Yeah, Governor Westmore. So something nasty is going to be coming out about him. We see. Let's see. Democrats are putting a lot of work. Let's see what it's supposed to be, though. There's some expose. I don't know what we're about to find out. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. He claimed he received a Bronze Star when he didn't. And then he kind of acted like, it was just a mistake, and then later kind of admitted he knew he wasn't going to get one when he was coming back from Afghanistan. So it does sound like it's coming out that he not only knew he wasn't getting one or something, like got passed up, and maybe they've got a document that shows a date or something that predates everything he said. Whatever the case is, this is stolen valor. It's a huge, huge no-no. I wonder what Pete Hegseth would do. I don't know if he's retired or not. So, curious. Baltimore, they're created this is very funny. This is Democrats for you in a nutshell. Baltimore created a $35 million reparations fund, but none of the money has been paid out because everyone is fighting over who can control the money. And control means steal, right? You know that now. So they're literally fighting over who has the ability to steal from the funds. Man. You can't make this stuff up. Deputy killed in Porterville, California during a shooting Thursday morning. Pretty messed up stuff. We also have a horrible thing that Trump shared that I will not, I can't play it. I'll sort of describe it. I watched it once and I wish I wouldn't have. But it's really horrible. Really horrible. Really horrible. Like I've never seen that before. It was fucking horrible. Wounded deputy pulled to safety and then ultimately ended up dying at the hospital. Very sad. Very sad. Here is Admiral Cooper talking about the successes and stuff that he's had. He put this out yesterday. Please enjoy.
Hi, I'm Admiral Brad Cooper, Commander of U.S. Central Command. Less than 6 weeks ago, more than 50,000 of America's sons and daughters in uniform launched Operation Epic Fury and embarked on a mission of profound consequence. We set out to dismantle the Iranian regime's ability to project power beyond its own borders, and we clearly accomplished this task. Iran has suffered a generational military defeat. The United States and Israel systematically destroyed Iran's ability to conduct large-scale military operations for years to come. Iran's conventional military capability, built over 40 years at the cost of billions of dollars, has been eliminated. As the President expressed earlier this week, our core strategic military objectives have been achieved after destroying Iran's missile, drone, and naval capabilities and their defensive industrial base. After successfully conducting more than 13,000 strikes on Iranian military targets and flying thousands upon thousands of combat flights, U.S. forces have paused offensive operations in accordance with the ongoing ceasefire. However, we remain present. We remain vigilant, and we remain ready if called. We also continue to stand shoulder to shoulder with our regional partners in maintaining the most sophisticated and largest active air defense umbrella in the world. At the beginning of this campaign, I sent a letter to the force expressing my expectations, and our extraordinary warfighters exceeded each and every one of them. So to all our soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen, guardians, and Coast Guardsmen operating forward, you represent the strongest, most lethal military the world has ever known. In less than 40 days, you destroyed the military that Iran built for over 40 years. Your courage, grit, and ingenuity have served America extremely well. Finally, I want to close by remembering and honoring our 13 fallen warriors who made the ultimate sacrifice during Operation Epic Fury. We continue to hold their memories and their families, their friends, and their teammates in our prayers. Their selfless service and dedication will always be remembered as future generations follow their example and carry forward their legacy. Our men and women in uniform represent the best of America. I just could not be prouder and more humbled to serve with them, and I know the American people share that same pride. So to our warriors, stay sharp, remain resolved, and continue to take care of one another. Thanks so much, and Godspeed.
Dude, a picture of that dude was pulling the dipstick out of that. Good Lord, thing was long as hell, which I guess it would need to be, but wow. Daggum. Fetterman was on with Jesse Waters, and it was a pretty good little bit here. So we're really not going to let me, you guys suck.
Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman. All right, Senator, are some Democrats rooting for Iran?
Well, whether I wouldn't say rooting, but if they have, any words to say, it's against, America, and it's describing us, if anything, as if we're the aggressor, or we are on the wrong side of history, and that's just not true. I mean, every single president since the regime was created in '79, every single president wanted to address it, and they wanted to fix that, and they want to hold them accountable what they've done. And now all these things have tried, negotiating treaties, all other kinds of sanctions and all that did not work. And now it was at the point after they created the kinds of funding of 10-7, and they continued to underwrite the world's most amount of terrorism. So Trump did something about it. And now, as a Democrat, I think we should all agree, hey, I think it's a good thing that Iran has been held accountable. And I'm going to be the only Democrat that's going to continue to support those efforts, because I can't imagine why we can't agree that it's a good thing. And now there are more things that are necessary at this point to achieve that. And I'm going to be the one Democrat that votes against the War Powers Act if it comes up next week.
Well, hopefully this war is wrapped up before you need it. I think there's another 60 days before you have to go to Congress. But Senator, do some members of your party think Trump is more dangerous than the Iranians?
Well, I can't speak for my other Democrats, but the American media has essentially become carrying water for Iran, and they're describing it the kinds of circumstances, and they forget the way Iran has behaved. And why can't we just call what Iran has been and what it continues to do those things? America is the force of good in the world, and holding Iran accountable what they've done is important. And now that's, we're 40 days into this war, and we have the opportunity to finish off this and to make the world more safe and more just and secure, not just in that region, but all across in the world.
I hope we finish it off, too, and open up the strait, and we can all get back to business. The 25th Amendment, impeachment, war crimes, are they serious about this stuff, or is that just politics?
Well, I mean, sure, there are some of them are serious about those things, but like Stephen Smith just pointed out, that it's not going anywhere because they certainly won't have the votes to do those kind of things. But like I said, why can't we just, root for our military? Why can't we just say, I don't have to agree everything the president has done or the kind of things that he says, but we should be on the side of America, and we should be on the side of civilization and the free world. And I'm on that side, and I don't know why I'm the only Democrat that says those kinds of things at this point. And I'm going to continue to always to vote to support our military, whatever is required for them to do to hold Iran accountable and make that region more safe.
Well, you're the most civilized Democrat, and you're wearing a hoodie. So go figure, Senator.
Yeah, I mean, I don't listen to me about fashion, but I think more Democrats should listen to me and say, be on the right side of history and holding Iran accountable. And if you have to pick a side, pick our side, pick civilization, pick Israel. There was just a poll, I think it was today, Pew pointed out 80% of Democrats view Israel as negative. Like that's insane. That's our special ally. That's the only place in the region that has the kind of values and the kinds of way that we live and what we want here as a Democrat. How is that possible that 8 out of 10 view Israel in a negative thing as Democrats? And I know it's even more and more unpopular about standing and agreeing about epic fury, but I will be the only Democrat, in my caucus that's proud to stand with Israel. And I also think epic fury was necessary, and I'm going to continue.
Good. Well, Senator, thanks for joining Jesse Waters.
So weird how it just seems like you just stopped talking when you're like, are you done? Okay, sure. I do think it's interesting how when you think of the way people in our audience, if you will, our group, the way they jump to certain conclusions when you say certain words, right? One example I would say is when you paint with a broad brush with Iran, when you say, oh, Iran is bad. A lot of people in our group are they know. They're like, well, it's not really Iranian. It's like it was since the something happened. Some people, the Ayatollah came in and all that, but some people don't know necessarily the history per se, but they know there's this group of people that left and don't like this, and there's a lot of people unhappy there. So there's like, so they understand it's not all Iranians, it's just that deep state nasty component. But when you say Israel, that's a different story. Like there are a lot of people in our walks that you say Israel, and they're like, they're the problem. It's like, whoa. Israel's got a major deep state, just like we did. It's one of the reasons why we have a bad reputation in the world. And right now we're doing something and basically saying we're going to do it anyway, don't care. And a lot of people in the world are like, you're just like you've always been. It's like, no, actually, this is different this time. We're actually doing something that we've always done, but against the people that are the world's enemy. It's interesting. I don't know. I'm fascinated by a lot of things that are happening. Energy, the way it feels, is a big part of why I'm here. And then the other part is just, the way people are kind of going through it. Just like a sabbatical. Just trying to help out the best I can, holding a flashlight, but ultimately paying attention to some things and just enjoying the ride. I ultimately know it's going to happen, but it's going to be fun. DOJ, they open a criminal investigation into the J6 committee star witness Cassidy Hutchinson. One of the best parts about this, though, is that she lied, and she was probably talked to by, Liz Cheney. Dun, dun, dun. Talked to her without her counsel being present. We all know and remember, or should anyways, that story. So Liz Cheney pulled her aside and said, hey, shh. No, let's just chit-chat. And then all of a sudden, Cassidy Hutchinson has this outlandish story. She changed her story and lied to the January 6th committee, which they got rid of all the records. The reason they got rid of the records is because of stuff like this. This is a giant lie. It is and was and still is illegal. It's fantastic. CBP put this out. I don't even know. This was not the disgusting thing that Trump shared yet. No, this. There's so many questions I have. Like I don't even want to go there. But the CBP, the gray checkbox, another semi-regular reminder that bringing desiccated monkey corpses into the United States is prohibited. Literally like a two-faced, like it's a Siamese monkey. It looks like with fangs. So probably a genetic experiment and dead. Thank God it wasn't alive. It looked angry. Whatever its last moment was, it looked not happy. Or maybe it was smiling. Say cheese! Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was like that dude from, what was that Spielberg movie where the kids, Goonies, right? Doesn't it almost look like that the big one-eyed guy or whatever? Donald Trump, truth is, an illegal alien criminal from Haiti was released in the country by Biden. I don't want to read all this. I can't play it. I'm going to play it up to where I can, and then I'm going to stop and explain what happens.
No!
Okay, so yeah, we're not going any further. He straight up hits this chick in the head with the hammer, then hits her in the head like 2 more times while she's on the ground, probably dead, but maybe. And then hits her in the chest or something, like just beats the hell out of her with this hammer. Like just the level of disregard for another fellow human at this point in time. And, a lot of people, again, paint with a broad brush. Oh, that's how people in Haiti are. No, there's not everybody. Like, my mom used to go there for the little religious stuff. Like, there's parts of Haiti, they were careful and they went in groups. But there are places where there's Haitian people that aren't total dicks. But, yeah, there's a problem there. It's just, they caught him, I guess. The dude's, a lot of them were like, deport him. It's like, for what this guy did, man, I almost wonder if, anyway, yeah, maybe deporting's the right thing. Maybe that's better than throwing a brick at him or something. 4 British hikers caught on Golden Road. They were, quote, British hikers. After illegally entering the United States from Canada, they were coming down that road they just recently saying they're going to shut down. British men, Ali Mohammed, Ali Abdullah, Hamid Mohammed Naji. You guys probably heard of these people, right? Yeah, they're just, everybody's talking about these people. Ibrahim Ayub Khan. And Mohammed Sultan Saleh. You're not allowed to say, you can't draw him, maybe that's what it is. Because you suppose you can't say his name, but everyone names their kid after him. It's like in Mexico, everyone names their kid Jesus. It's very strange. But yeah, Sultan Saleh. They were all caught illegally sneaking into the United States in a remote part of Maine. Wonder why. Wonder what's going on. Wonder what they were planning. They didn't get through. Illegal alien adult male in Virginia was just found guilty after he groped high school girls. I'm going to play the story. I don't know if I mentioned this or not. I saw the story, but I don't know if I brought it up.
Well, happening now, a Fairfax high school student is standing trial accused of groping more than a dozen girls in the school hallway. Some of them are as young as 13 years old. 7 News' Nick Minock was the first to report this story last month and has an update now outside the Fairfax County Courthouse where victims are testifying.
Israel Flores Ortiz faces 13 counts of assault. He's accused of groping girls in the hallways at Fairfax High School, touching their private parts, the front and the back. Now, Ortiz is 18 years old. He'll be 19 years old in June. Today in court, Fairfax County Commonwealth's Attorney Steve Descano's office requested that the judge close the entire courtroom to the public, but the judge shot that down, only allowing the courtroom to be closed when minor victims were testifying, and that is what is happening right now. We saw all 13 victims in court along with their parents. Now, 7 News was also the first to report that Ortiz is in the country illegally. Take a look at this. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security posted this on X today, saying, quote, if Fairfax County's sanctuary politicians choose to release this predator back into our communities, ICE stands ready to take him into custody and deport this sexual deviant, end quote. Ortiz is an illegal immigrant from El Salvador who crossed the southern border in 2024 and was released under federal government policy at that time. Immediately after our reporting on his arrest this year, ICE issued a detainer for Ortiz in order to deport him. But ICE told me that the Fairfax County Sheriff is not honoring that detainer. That is Sheriff Kincaid's policy. Now, the prosecutor told the victims' parents that this trial could wrap today. That is her expectation. I'm going to go back inside the courtroom and find out what happens. We'll have more ahead at 5 on 7 News. Reporting in Fairfax, Nick Minock, 7 News.
At 5, 7 News? Wait, what number are you going with? I am confused. Too many numbers. 2 major pharmaceutical companies are going to launch products through TrumpRx. We got 2 more that have jumped on board. What do we got? There it is. AbbVie, and Genentech. I don't take drugs generally, so yeah, there you go. Joining a bunch of other giants, AstraZeneca, Eli Lilly. Anyway, if you guys haven't and you take prescriptions, though, try to get you off those as best you can. Certainly check on TrumpRx. Make sure you're getting the cheapest price possible. There are a lot of places that will honor the cheapest price. So make sure you're paying that. Even if you're using benefits, pay the cheapest price. It'll help in the big picture. And yeah, that's good enough probably. White House staff, they've been warned against taking advantage of this oil thing. Like Trump supposedly told them, hopefully in advance. When we do this, there's going to be a huge price in oil. If any one of you guys is caught trading oil, you will be fired. That's probably how it played out, because I don't think Trump is going to let somebody F this up for him. So there you go. USPS is pausing pension contributions amid looming cash shortfall. I got a funny place in my heart for USPS. I mean, my uncle was a postal carrier. He's still alive, but he was a postal carrier. He's retired now. But when unions get involved in government jobs, I instantly have a huge problem with the job. And I have a huge problem with everything all of a sudden. I just think it adds a whole level of bureaucracy and bullshit that doesn't belong in a government job. Government jobs, generally speaking, are already pretty well taken care of. Adding another layer of bullshit to it is unacceptable. Just unacceptable. And again, I've made no hints that I dislike unions with a passion. So yeah, they're not getting their contributions. The federal tax dollars are not going to continue to just pour into your pocket when you do subservice work. Can't even deliver ballots. We've got fake ballots. We've got people that literally are so political within the organization themselves that they do shit to mail. Like, it's just unacceptable. Unacceptable. A lot of people say privatizing USPS makes the most sense. I 100% agree with that. It could actually probably pull a profit. Or you just get someone like UPS and FedEx, and even hell, maybe even I don't know if DHL is still around, but you get them to sort of bid on, which parts they take over. Do they split it up? And they don't get taxpayer money. No, you charge enough on a stamp or whatever commercial mailing you're doing, which right now I think is the problem. I think UPS does a lot of commercial mailing at stupid cheap prices and then expects everyone else to pay for it. I honestly think that's what a lot of it is. They make friends for their buddies or make deals with their buddies, and doesn't help and doesn't work, because everything the Democrats do fails because they continue to try to drag more money out of it. Another funny thing that's come out, and again, markets kind of prove, people are like, well, it's too much to charge. The market will tell you. Market will tell you. So Doritos, they're delicious, right? Kind of. I mean, they are. They're addictive. But I pay such a price. When I eat a bag of Doritos, oh yeah. And why stop at a Dorito? They're disgustingly good. So Doritos, they finally hit they hit a $6 mark. And sales started to tank. And then they got them up to all the way to $7, and sales just pretty much stopped. And what they found is that people were going to like a lot of the cheaper, like Kroger brand or Safeway brand or whatever fill in blank. I forget the name of that one in Texas. The 3 letters. What is that? You guys got some, and someone's going to email me. I don't care. There's some. You guys got your little grocery chain down there. It's pretty cool. I think you have Kroger also, but I never see those. It's always the other chain, but they're good. They're groovy. Used to go there all the time. The rule was we'd pick up like a 6-pack of beer, so we didn't have to always go down to the bar and spend money, because we're on business trips. We didn't want to totally waste money. We still wanted to get a buzz on. China's debt surpasses Europe's for the first time. This is it's indicative of the big picture, and what I'm kind of thinking is happening, and everybody knows it except us, is that at some point there's going to be a quote jubilee, and how that plays out I don't know, but I don't think we owe all this money to the people we owe it to. And I think what's going to happen at some point is the world's going to actually turn to the central bank and say, look, here's what's going to happen. We're no longer going to be a part of your system. We've all got it figured out without your help. Thank you. And we're going to walk away from this. So that's my guess, and I think that's why Trump's kind of spending as many Federal Reserve notes as he can right now, because he realizes what's actually, like, he's tried to do certain things. He wanted to do certain things. He's like, I'm going to try to save the Fed. That's my job as president. And the Fed doesn't want to be saved? Okay. Then we'll go a different direction. So again, Trump tries to do things certain ways, and probably knowing he's going to fail going into it, but he's got to try it. Because if you can't demonstrate you did it, you're going to get criticized and totally just, crucified. So I tried this. I tried this. I tried this. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Elections are the same thing. So yes, they're fighting his executive order he's recently done. Of course they are. And he's doing it intentionally. And the timing of it's perfect. And anybody that's questioning the timing, you just don't, I know I don't have enough of the information in my hands to even criticize. Like I've said before, if it's happening, this is what's supposed to be. Question is to figure out why and how. Not if it should have. No. This is, whether it happened exactly when it should have, I don't know. But the contentions are in play. That's for sure. There's no way. So China's debt's getting huge. Everyone's is. Trump upends China's lucrative sanctioned oil import scheme from Iran and Venezuela. And this is really one of the big things that people don't appreciate. And again, this isn't it. This isn't the sole reason. There's many reasons for why we did this. A lot of it was to head off what was being attempted. That's what we were doing. And everyone's like, and this is the big funny thing, everyone's like, there's no way that Iran was going to be able to create a nuclear weapon. Yeah, but there was a lot of ways that they were totally going to be able to get their ballistic missile system to the point where they could deliver those to a number of places, especially with U.S. personnel. Two, that they could very easily get a nuclear weapon from North Korea, China, Russia, easily. And where whoever gives it to them be like, yeah, I just gave them one. We'll see where they use it. They're not going to use it on us. And if they do, we'll destroy them. This is the problem. People don't get it. Well, intelligence analysts out there say, those intelligence analysts are bullshit. Anybody that's actually close to this that knows what's actually going on is not talking about it. Period. End of story. Period. Nobody close to this is talking about it. Everyone talking about it is speculating. They may not admit it. And no offense to Wano Saban, but he's a great example. He is not in the middle of this. He's doing a lot of stuff on the outside, legal crap and all this shit. He's got lots of money. He's helping out. He's great. Awesome. Fantastic. He's not in the middle of it. Understand. Shit's happening. Most of us don't get it. We're not going to see it. We see the direction, we see the changes, and we basically, here's the way it helps me read it. Whatever everyone's talking about, making noise about, that's what the deep state's pushing, because they're very good at what they do. We are so far from being there yet. It's either you see it for what it is, or you are caught up in it. Because if you're caught up in it and quote unquote claim you're awake, you don't understand what you're doing. You were caught up in you're caught up in the bullshit. You're caught up in the noise. Your missile just hit the chaff. You're not staying on target. Everything's a distraction in this game, except our souls and what we're trying to accomplish. And really, to me, the elections is the most important thing. I don't know what else is even more important than as far as the next step. All right, so I was curious where everything got. So price of oil initially was going up, which was causing everything to sort of get weird. And then now it looks like price of oil is going back down. So it looks like some sort of deal's been made about the Strait of Hormuz. I don't know if I've seen any, no new news popped up, but it's one of the reasons why I like to look at this live on the show. Because at the time of recording, this is the state of the union, if you will. So oil is down a little bit. This freaks out the deep state. This causes the deep state to be very, very unhappy. When the price of oil goes down, generally, and gold's a little short to catch up, but generally speaking, gold and silver start to go up. Crypto's a fun one. Crypto, I have no idea what it's tied to. It's all over the place. I mean, oil's tied to everything. When oil's going way up, crypto was going down. Everything was going down. People were buying into oil. But when oil comes down, everything starts to get a little wonky. So stock market's changing a little weird stuff. I mean, it's not much. Pretty flat, basically. And what do we got? Yeah, VIX confidence is going down again. So currently gold and silver are down a teeny bit. I expect them to end up turning back up if this trend of oil continues downward. If oil continues down, gold and silver will start going back up. Silver's already showing a positive. There you go. Yeah, it's just the way it works. I don't know. It's fun as hell to watch. So something must have happened with the Strait of Hormuz. I don't have that as far as my most local news. When I get there, you'll see. I mean, Trump basically put a pretty strong ultimatum down, so maybe it kicked in. We'll see. Guys, look, if you're in a 401k or an IRA, this is the time to get out. First off, a lot of people are minimizing how much you can liquidate out of these accounts. They don't just have all this money just sitting around waiting to spend. It's a pain in the ass sometimes, so keep that in mind. You're not helping them out, which is also a good reason to protect that wealth. You can move it out sideways, tax-free, penalty-free. If you've got a 401k or an IRA, they're both pre-tax money. Okay, pre-tax money, if you touch it in any way, shape, or form, you're going to get taxed and penalized, period. End of story. Unless you're old enough, then it won't matter as much. You get still taxed. You deferred the tax. That's why you do a 401k or an IRA. What they can do is they can help take that money sideways, tax-free, penalty-free. They can turn it into physical precious metals, kept in a trust. You still don't get to touch it. If you touch it, it's income. So they're able to create physical metals that are put into a trust. They are yours. You can ask for them pulled out in increments, but still, if you ask for it early, that's a payout, and if it's early, you're getting penalized. So be careful. You don't need to do that yet. You're going to protect it by moving as much of it over and getting up to 10% free silver, by the way. Up to 10% free silver. So if you're moving over 100 grand, that's $10,000 of free silver that they're adding to the deal to sweeten the pot. They put it into a trust. It's yours. Leave it there. Because here's what's going to happen. Federal Reserve notes are going to tank. They're going to die. They're going to go away. Now, while that happens, inflation is going to get crazy. Price of oil, price of silver, gold, everything's going to kind of go up because of inflation. Eventually, the world's going to cut from this stuff, and we're going to go to a precious metal, asset-backed currency. Treasury notes, U.S. notes, whatever they're called. They're going to be backed by precious metals. You're already going to have the precious metals. You're already halfway there. You've already made the conversion before it was needed, so most likely going to maximize on that as well. You're going to do well all over the place on this. Price of silver is expected to hit about 280-ish by the end of the year, possibly even maybe a little more, but yeah, 280-ish by the end of the year. Right now it's sitting at 72. That's big money. And of course, gold's going to probably do something equivalent. Go to drslikesgold.com, drslikesgold.com. Get out of that system. Get out of their system. Protect it while you're going through this craziness, and then transfer when the getting's good. drslikesgold.com, drslikesgold.com. It's your choice, your time, your money, your wealth. We got First Lady Melania Trump is addressing the nation formally. There's been some rumors that she was involved with Epstein. I can't believe it. And she had to actually respond to this. She's a lovely lady. Let's check it out.
With the disgraceful Jeffrey Epstein need to end today. The individuals lying about me are devoid of ethical standards, humility, and respect. I do not object to their ignorance, but rather I reject their mean-spirited attempts to defame my reputation. I never been friends with Epstein. Donald and I were invited to the same parties as Epstein from time to time, since overlapping in social circles is common in New York City and Palm Beach. To be clear, I never had a relationship with Epstein or his accomplice, Maxwell. My email reply to Maxwell cannot be categorized as anything more than casual correspondence. My polite reply to her email doesn't amount to anything more than a trivial note. I am not Epstein's victim. Epstein did not introduce me to Donald Trump. I met my husband by chance at a New York City party in 1998. This initial encounter with my husband is documented in detail in my book, Melania. The first time I crossed paths with Epstein was in the year 2000 at an event Donald and I attended together. At the time, I had never met Epstein and had no knowledge of his criminal undertakings.
What I kind of love too is, that Donald Jr., like, or little, I'm sorry, the new ones, the new Junior, the new Trump. I'm drawing a blank on his name, the one that's like 19, 18, whatever. But he's not going to be liking this at all. These people are all going after his mom, right? Why can't I remember his name? Names I'm telling you guys, it's my whole life. It's been like this. It's not related to anything else. My entire life, I've been retarded with names and dates. Can't remember a birthday to save my life. Can't remember. It's not even like it's like the day passes and I'm like, crap, yesterday was the 3rd. First off, that never happened. Second off, I seldom know what day it is. Third off, I don't remember dates. I hated history. I didn't enjoy it because I couldn't. I just sucked at it. Anyway, so sometimes just aren't good at things, Yeah.
That Jeffrey Epstein was running a intelligence gathering operation. In my professional opinion, I do believe it was a honeypot operation. And I do believe that there's a list of individuals who did engage in trafficking, were given these plea deals, and I'm going to name those individuals right now. The first one would be Leslie Groff. The second one, Sarah Kellen. The third one, Nadia Markova. And the fourth one, Adriana Ross. All of these women engaged in the trafficking of minors as adults. They were working and complicit with Jeffrey Epstein's operation. And in my opinion, they are not to be given victim status because they did partake in harming young girls. I remember seeing in some of the files, some of these girls were, as young as 10, 11 years old and older. And so obviously we have a lot of work to do, but I did want to come and give an update and let you.
Good for her. I mean, I like the fact that I don't know if she was listening, I don't know if she heard some of the people talking about it, but yeah, this is good because the girls that came out and the girls that Pam Bondi was supposed to look at are all co-conspirators. All of them. All of them. They were put there by the Democrats intentionally because then if she does look at them, she gives them credit. It's the games. And if she doesn't, it plays poorly. And there's so many people on our side of the fence who'll be like, she didn't even look at them. Now, I do wonder how Nancy Mace feels about all that. I'd be curious. But President Trump's FCC chair, Brandon Carr, dude, and dudettes. Brandon Carr, just the thought of heights. I can literally create that feeling in my stomach just by imagining walking up to a ledge. I have insane body karma with that. It's just awesome. I think I've been killed that way many times, right? It's just... I think people like to do that to people, like throw them off cliffs. It's just fun, So, I don't know. You do it a few times. I think it freaks you out. Whatever. This guy, Brandon Carr. Holy crap, dude. This is him. Man, I just like, here's my man card. I understand it's shriveled and shrunken, and yes, it's laminated. I was afraid it'd get damaged further. Here you go. I don't deserve it. Oh, that hurts. He's more manly than, I bet the hairs on his, like Chuck Norris, that's kind of like Chuck Norris stuff there. Someone had to take his place, I guess. And that's, maybe that's him now. Maybe that's Brandon Carr. British police, they're dicks. They're dicks. And one of these ladies has a stupid gay hat on. I don't know what's up with that nonsense.
Flag's been raised on Wethersfield, guys. It's been reclaimed.
What's happened today then?
What?
We just got off and we got off. Right. Done. Something about a flag? Put a flag up?
We put an English flag up in
English
England.
Or...
They're flying up the road. Yeah. They're literally flying up the road, bud.
Yeah. This would be for the thumbnail. Yeah.
Wow, look, they got a whole car full. Did it.
Yeah, we've been on
antisocial behaviour.
Okay. Walked on.
Gives us the power to ask for your name and your address.
Yeah, okay. Okay,
if that is not provided, that becomes an arrestable offence.
Okay.
Dude, they all sound like Keir Starmer. What's it? Well, he kind of doesn't have the same voice. And I just talked to my one of my British friends that, so I apologize to my British friends out there that just all of you sound the same. They apparently, it depends what friggin' neighborhood you're from, man. But some of them you'll know when they're angry. most of them that are Gentile. You know, when the ones are doucheholes saying like Cheerio and shit like that on the polo fields. I almost said polio. Yeah, that's those people. Maybe polio should be. Maybe that's more appropriate. Trump administration moves to automate U.S. military draft registration. How do you guys feel about that? By the way, hit a thumbs up, please. Not because of this, but just because I remembered I should have asked you to comment on this. You should comment on it. You do comment. People like that. Apparently that makes the channel seem more exciting, more sexy, you know, people that talk. Whatever. You know what? They've also got, I've gotten to the cut. The only people that are left in there are the bots and the nonsense. So it's kind of funny. There's no one really responding to the bots anymore. I feel like that's kind of a victory. So yeah, choose to wade in those shallow Florida waters at your own risk, I might say. Anywho, yeah, they're going to automatically register people. How do you feel? Frankly, I thought it was a pain in the ass to have to do it manually. So cool. I don't know. It's pretty hard to hide from the government if they want you. But I feel like this is meant to scare people like, oh, they're going to conscript people soon. There's going to be a draft. Well, there's not. There is still this talk of a never-ending war, too. It's just, they won't let it go. I love it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And even if there might be one more little, we'll see. I don't know, like, again, price of oil, so I can remember where I'm at. Price of oil is down. It was up earlier, right? So I was like, here's about where I was about ready to start recording, not too far from here. Maybe it was here. It was maybe here. And then what? Something happened. You see it's dropping like crazy. Okay? That's a response to something Trump did. He opened up the strait somehow. I think it's here. Yeah. Kremlin explains an Easter ceasefire. I don't need to get into it, but frankly, this is their Holy Week right now. So we had our Easter on Sunday, and the Orthodox Easter is this coming Sunday. And so very, very big deal for them. And there will be a ceasefire on April 11th, and it will end on April 12th. And this is what Russia's offering. And this is very nice of them because both countries are Orthodox. Now, I'm sure, and they actually even mentioned, by the way, that, hey, look, this war could end. Right? This could be not only a ceasefire, but a permanent ceasefire. If they just need to get out of Donbass. This is what it all comes down to. If Ukraine withdraws from Donbass, the war is over. That's it. In a nutshell. They already lost a bunch of land. Too late. You're not getting that back. And nobody's going to agree with that anyway. Get out of Donbass. Let Russia have it. Give it to them. End the war. Why do we need more killing only so they can fight for this last little sliver? Just give it to them. Let the war end. Let there be peace on earth. And let it begin with me. I wish I could remember the rest of the words. I wanted to go further. Let this be my fight. Let this be. I don't remember it. President Trump, truth is, I have so many issues, guys. I don't even know which issue to run off on sometimes. Highly respected Prime Minister of Hungary, Viktor Orban, is a truly strong and powerful leader with a proven track record of delivering phenomenal results. He fights tirelessly for and loves his great country and people, just like I do for the United States of America. Viktor works hard to protect Hungary, grow the economy, create jobs, promote trade, stop illegal immigration, and ensure law and order. Relations between Hungary and the United States have reached new heights of cooperation and spectacular achievement under my administration, thanks largely to Prime Minister Orban. I look forward to continuing working closely with him so that both of our countries can further advance this tremendous path to success and cooperation. I was proud to endorse Viktor for re-election in 2022, and I am honored to do so again. Election Day is Sunday, April 12th, 2026. Hungary, get out and vote for Viktor Orban. He is the true friend, fighter, and winner. And he has my complete and total endorsement for re-election as Prime Minister of Hungary. Viktor Orban will never let the great people of Hungary down. I am with him all the way. President Donald J. Trump. This isn't just magnanimous, hopefully, because of him promoting Viktor Orban, but because now he is saying to the rest of the world, Here is what happens when I point someone, right? Like if I point to somebody. I was trying to use when he puts his endorsement behind somebody. He can shift world politics just by his opinion because nobody trusts anybody else. All of us trust this. It's a little scary, but I mean, I frequently, and I'm not saying Trump is Jesus, but I frequently think and say and joke, if Jesus showed up today, we'd probably kill him again. We'd lock him up. Something. Because you can guarantee he's not going to agree with everybody else. He's going to be someone like a Trump or something like that. He's just going to be this figure that's either A, he's in the shadows, or B, everybody's throwing sticks at him. You know? Facebook interfering in Hungarian election. So we're seeing standard approaches that have been done here in the United States. Facebook. I hope Trump gave what's-his-face a little call and said, you stop this right now. Especially in this election, but you stop doing this anywhere. And that's what Trump, I think, is kind of doing, is countering the money that is being spent by the deep state. He's like, look, you're going to play unfair? I'm going to play unfair. There's no rule that says I can't do this. It's always been a gentleman thing. Well, pardon the pun if you're a female. Israel has restrictions at the Jerusalem holy site. The Ben Gurion Airport is fully reopened and normalcy returns, which you know they don't like. And here's, I feel like the story is better here. Yeah, let's put it here. Iran ceasefire is allowing Netanyahu's corruption trial to resume again. So how long do you guys, again, I don't think Israel's the problem. This dude, I've had a problem with. I've been the few times where I've had to come to the fence and be like, maybe he's okay. It has hurt me to say it. I don't know what it is, man, but this is a guy that again, if you need Israel to fight by your side, you want this dude there. I think that's a big part of why Trump's got him there. But when you finally want peace on the planet, this is not the guy you want there anymore. So I'm wondering what happens to him. I mean, many say he's dead already. I don't even want to get into anything where they got a clone running around trying to beat somebody. Again, it could be. I am not going to say that's not true, okay? I'm just saying, if that's what I'm supposed to believe in order to accept it, then they've obviously want everyone to believe that this is the individual that's in charge. For the time being, it makes more sense just to keep saying it's Netanyahu, because it does. If they killed one version of him, then why don't they kill the other, right? They should just keep smoking them, because you're eventually going to run out of people that look just like him. Well, you could put a mask on. Then find the mask maker. Why can't you break into their house? Where's O'Keefe Media Group on that one, right? Like, break into the mask maker's house. Dude, it's got like 5 of Netanyahu's faces in there. Shit, man. If that's the proof we need, let's get that going. Anyway, I just wonder what's going on, right? I'm asked to believe a lot of crazy shit. Okay, sure, possible. Donald Trump says there are reports that Iran is charging fees to tankers going through the Hormuz Strait. They better not be, and if they are, they better stop now. President Donald J. Trump. I'm sure there's a finger wag in there somewhere. He didn't yell, though. He wasn't yelling. Donald Trump truth this as well, shortly thereafter. Iran is doing a very poor job, dishonorable, some would say, of allowing oil to go through the Strait of Hormuz. That is not the agreement we have. President Donald J. Trump. And then a little bit after, a few hours, the Iranians don't seem to realize they have no cards other than a short-term extortion of the world by using international waterways. The only reason they are alive today is to negotiate. It's like, what kill you as individuals? Unless you plan on living below ground for next 6 months. If you come above ground for any reason, you're dead. Again, I'm not fond of this, but this is the threats he's doing. It's meant to bring people that are evil beyond words, that all they want to do is kill anybody they can, like the dude with the hammer, just disassociated. from reality. That's what we're dealing with. I mean, putting them in a cage of some kind, maybe it'd be better, in my opinion, but maybe that's, you got to do what you got to do, right? I'm not in charge of this. I like peace and all that stuff, but I do understand that war is still something that very much exists on this planet, but they've been limited greatly. So progress is definitely being made, even in my crazy views. Trump urges Netanyahu to be low-key after the Lebanon strikes, as Israel is supposedly set to negotiate with Beirut right now. So Trump's basically told him, look, you're effing up our deal with Iran. Stop it. Do what you got to do. Get peace. Do something. So poor Netanyahu right now is just like, fudge. Well, who am I going to blow up? I got to keep the war going, man. They're going to come after me. And Trump's like, no more war, man. And then, of course, he's like, well, they're going to come after me. Yeah. I mean, Trump's, yeah. Here's J.D. Vance just parting for Islamabad, Pakistan, to work on the final pieces of this deal. And I love that. Again, no one's going to kill him. And if they did, it wouldn't matter. I mean, we love him, by the way. It would be tragic, and it would piss us off, and it would just cause us to totally be crazy. So that would be the worst thing that could possibly happen. But it wouldn't destroy the country like if Trump...
We're looking forward...
They'd shoot Trump's plane down. You know what I mean? Like that, yeah. It's crazy right now. This is not a good time for Putin, Trump, maybe even Xi to go anywhere. Careful. All I'm saying. But anyway, J.D. Vance doing an awesome job. Marco Rubio. We got, I think, Witkoff and Jared Kushner's over there. And everyone hates Jared Kushner. He's another one. But Trump still got him next to him. Okay? He got rid of a lot of people. But Jared's still there. Married to his daughter. So I'm going to trust Trump more than others.
We're looking forward to the negotiation. I think it's going to be positive. We'll, of course, see. As the President of the United States said, if the Iranians are willing to negotiate in good faith, we're certainly willing to extend the open hand. If they're going to try to play us, then they're going to find that the negotiating team is not that receptive. So we're going to try to have a positive negotiation. The President has gave us some pretty clear guidelines, and we're going to see. So I hope you guys have a safe flight. We'll certainly take some questions later on. But for now, let's get on the plane and hit the road. Thank you all.
Yeah, like basically, I don't want to keep talking to you. You guys are bugging me. You're bugging me. Indiana spends their gas tax amid the Iran war for 30 days. Good for them. California would never do that. Never. Too much money. Too much money. Pentagon seeks a stunning 243 times budget surge for drone warfare. Yeah, they're going to spend a bunch of money on drones. We are obviously expecting a confrontation with China. Or if not, we're building up to one and making it like, obviously we're telling China, look, you have no chance. We're going to swarm the shit out of you too. And that's really what this is. We're going to make so damn many of these things that China knows, fuck, if we take Taiwan. So, yeah, they want money. They're going to start building them. I don't know where Taiwan happens. They've been talking about this magical year. We're supposed to have peace on Earth. They kind of are saying 2030-ish. So we seem to be on track and likely ahead of schedule. And literally, I do think that's what's happening right now, folks. We are finishing. We're going to have peace on Earth. That's a must before the next step can happen. And the next step will happen, by the way. There's no doubt of that. North Korea tests new electromagnetic and blackout bombs. Just the EMP stuff to scare people. This is Deep State putting the story out, Reuters specifically, so Deep State. Just freaking people out. Not saying they don't have the technology, but it's a pretty lame-looking... Oh, it's a case. Looks like something you'd try to get through. Like, is this carry-on? Yeah, that's a nuclear missile. I'm going to be putting it on the overhead. Oh, it's a little too big, I think. All right, just be careful with it. Artemis 2 reaches its final hours in space, and Jarek Isaacman personally went out and bought a bunch of pizzas. I just think that's cool. I mean, a lot of people could say, only pizza? It's actually pretty cool. Most people like pizza when they're working, especially here in America.
You're looking live at a view inside the Orion spacecraft, now on flight day 8 into the first flight of astronauts aboard Orion. All 4 crew members are just wrapping up their post-sleep period, getting ready for the day and getting ready for their daily planning conference. We're expecting that here momentarily when they'll talk down with teams in Mission Control Houston, getting an update on their systems aboard the spacecraft, any plans for today, and asking and answering any questions. Again, some of the activities we expect the crew to participate in today include putting on and measuring for their
Okay, I guess we don't have to play the whole thing of her talking about what the stuff they're doing. But what I was laughing about, and this one dude sitting behind all the pizza boxes, I'm like, he must be the auditor. There's an auditor there that day, right? And this is like, oh, no, here, sit here. And then lunchtime shows up, and they're like, we're going to have pizza for lunch. Do you like pizza? And he's like, well, I like pizza. I'll have some pizza. Oh, fantastic. We're going to have a bunch of pizzas show up. That's great, he says. And you know what? What happens? Well, it looks like they came and dropped a butt ton of pizzas in front of him, so he can't see nothing. It made me laugh. It's probably not true. Maybe it is. Made me laugh, though. Made me laugh, people. NASA says people in San Diego might possibly hear sonic booms. I'm curious if I will hear. Like I said, it's about 70 nautical miles, but really the way the coast is shaped, it's so could be. If it's coming in from that angle, it's definitely coming in from away from me into me. So maybe I'll hear it. We've heard sonic booms before from time to time. Oftentimes stuff coming in from over the ocean, going a little too fast. Oops. Oops, they say. Southwest Airlines is going to limit passengers to one portable charger on flight. So if you guys are flying anywhere, check the restrictions and all that. One lithium portable charger each, and it's got to be on your carry-on, to my understanding. So keep that in mind as well. Southwest is doing a lot of things right now that are, I think, smart. It's easier. They were making, it was kind of sort of chaos, but it was cool. I mean, it was the way they could fly on them. But yeah, the people that understood it better than others got better seating and everything. FCC set to vote on easing satellite power rules, boosting SpaceX Starlink. They don't totally get into the nuts and bolts of this story. Some of it sounds like it is specifically power. I'm wondering also if they're opening up frequencies. They don't really talk about that per se, but I would assume that's also got to be part of this because they're talking about speed of transmission, and that's not all power oriented. I mean, it helps, but you get a different frequency and you can actually get more data through it. It's a larger tunnel, if you will. So I'm kind of wondering if that's maybe part of it too. We'll see. It's supposed to be a good thing though. And there's also, and this was, that's right. And this is like DirecTV and all those guys are pissed off. Viasat, SES, DirecTV. They're all pissed off about this because this is ultimately going to help SpaceX. It's going to give them the ability to do cable TV, larger bandwidth, so they'll actually be able to actually support streaming and stuff like that to a larger extent. So that'll be very, very cool. All the geosync stuff, which is, by the way, very expensive to put stuff in geosync orbit compared to where SpaceX is. Just giant difference in price. Just giant difference. But, one satellite does a lot. It's just sitting above the one that's parked above a specific spot, and that's where it stays. Basically, it's falling or it's going around the Earth is exactly the speed that the Earth is going. It's kind of like that 0 point of weightlessness, if you will. And then you got cool things called Lagrange points. Don't get me started. Love this stuff. Disgruntled worker accused of setting massive warehouse fires sued his ex-employer over lost pay. The company he worked at before. He worked for a transportation company, something Prime Flight. Yeah, flight sort of thing, air carriers and airports with a wide range of aircraft, passengers, and security services. Anyway, he, I guess, sued them for not getting paid for breaks. So then he starts working at Kimberly-Clark. Apparently they don't pay or give breaks properly there in his opinion, so he burned it down. He's supposedly facing life in prison. They're pretty upset with him right now, frankly, even for here. It was in Ontario, too, so it's a different county. It's not L.A. County, I guess, thank God. I think Ontario is a different county. It should be. Yeah, so anyway, crazy. Nutsy stuff going on, guys. I love it. It's fun to be a part of. Got a fun music show coming up today. We're doing 80s hits. Kind of inspired by Police. Everything She Does Is Magic. That was basically kind of the inspirational song. And it's a bunch of stuff that's in that general realm. Not all necessarily the same soft and hard, right? Like I'm all over the place. But some great music. Just fantastic music. Even if you don't listen to it live, which there's a great group of people there live, you'd be surprised the core audience. Because the chat, by the way, never shows. The live chat when the video's over, when the live is over, the live chat disappears forever. It does not get saved. It does not become the comments, none of that. It's a totally separate thing. So the chat's kind of a fun little world that doesn't exist until, well, it only exists while the show's happening. And I'll put it on the screen so for a lot of people, they can see it. But that said, yeah, craziness going on. I love you guys. We're going to keep fighting the fight and keep working together. Where we go one, we go all. It's on the Fringe with Dan Radio Style.